Okay.
Recording in progress. Hi, Carol.
Hello, Lou, and welcome back.
Welcome. I got a new mug. I thought it said jingle, or no, I thought it said single all the way, but it's actually jingle. That's dyslexia for you. So I was like single all the way, and then I was like, no,
It
it's
can be whatever you want it to be. It's
well,
single. Well,
jingle.
I'm
Excellent.
drinking out of my Harry Potter mug because I think we need some bloody miracles and magic in this country right now.
Yeah, you're right. We need
So
jingle and single and Harry.
if you stay single and I stay magic, and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
put the two together.
Yeah. So,
So, how's things?
well, wait, this in our prep for this chat, there was quite a lot of ranting, wasn't there, Carol?
There was, wasn't there? It's probably good we got that out because the language wasn't choice for, for going on
Yeah.
air. What is really coming to light recently is the state of the country, the state of the people, and the non existence of any systems to help. We are being hammered by the systems financially and every other way. They're just hammering society into submission nearly so
Yeah.
that we won't fight back. But you know something? It's time to stand up against them and show them they can't do this. I mean, what's made me this angry this week is for the past couple of weeks, well, for the past 25 years, I've done all sorts of different work, working with people, working with students, working with disabled people, working with mental health. And I have, over all those years, I've also done complementary therapies and I've worked with a lot of people, giving them hope, hope in this broken country of ours that things would get better. And I've had a lot of contact in the past couple of weeks from people desperate for some little chink of light to keep them going. And it's getting harder and harder to find it, you know. And when you go from that, that's cost of living crisis, the way people are living, and education's failing the kids, the hospitals are failing the sick, and the environment is being destroyed daily in Northern Ireland for profit. That's been going on since I was campaigning on the environment 25 years ago. And nobody does anything about it because we cannot fight this system until we all wake up to the brokenness of the system and people get up and take their power back. So that's where I am at the minute. So I have quite a lot to say. I'm trying to hold some of that back to keep this civil.
Yeah. No,
So,
Carol, we're trying to
where
keep
are you
it
this week, Chloe? Where are you?
civil. Well, I'm trying to keep it civil too, Carol. So glad we're on the same page. Yeah, I mean, the system is absolutely. I was just before I was doing a banner. I was like, I do not consent to genocide, femicide, and ecocide. And
Hmm.
that's what we're facing. Like
Yeah,
these struggles, we can see them on an international, on a global platform. We can see them on a local, on a regional, on a national. It's on all levels. These struggles are playing out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just absolutely horrific. Now, I've been involved in the Loch Nay campaign, which is a grassroots struggle.
Yeah,
And whenever
yeah,
you say about hope and taking on the system, this
yeah.
week there have been a few incidents where I have just been really, really disappointed by how
Mm-hmm.
somebody who has stuck their neck out and has done a lot of hard work with a lot of single parents. And you're
Mm-hmm.
involved too at the start, and you were there and you were involved like years ago, Carol. Like you were a real
Yeah,
pioneer in terms of Loch Nay and pollution and rivers. And you
yeah.
know how much disrespect and how ungrateful and how much hard work goes into making these political issues and bringing them into the public consciousness.
Yeah.
Last week, this campaign, people jumping on board, people helping, right? But the
Yeah.
disrespect that I have received from people jumping on this bandwagon because of the hard work me and a lot of women have done, and men, but mostly women, it really annoyed me. See men coming forward and discrediting my knowledge. If you work for a union, you're not an expert on the environment. Know your place, little man, okay? You come on to this campaign and you discredit my knowledge that effortlessly. Do not expect me to be respectful, because you're a danger to our campaign. If you're supporting the system, if you're like, oh no, it's only some people in this system. No, it's the system. It's the entire system. And if I stand up with my knowledge and challenge that system, and you come on and try and discredit me when you're a lot less educated, you're a lot less intelligent, do not expect me to respect you in your position, because you, union man, are the problem. If you do not become educated on the fact that we need system change to protect our environment, to protect our women, to protect our children. And I am absolutely sick of men who have an opinion thinking that that gazumps expert knowledge, and that gazumps people who have worked tirelessly to make this an issue, and then you pretend to give a damn. You don't. You're a union man protecting people who work within these systems that are responsible, not all equally responsible, but they are responsible for the state of the environment. I mean, you challenge me and say that the civil service is not responsible for this when DERA is responsible, and you're trying to get people to say, well, it's not the admin, it's the senior management. No, it's the whole system.
Well, let me tell you something.
System.
My integrity would not allow me to work within a system that was damaging to people.
I couldn't take it.
My integrity wouldn't allow me.
But I'm doing the hard work to get that on the agenda, and then men like that coming in and they're trying to discredit. It's misogyny, and it's not helpful. It's damaging, and it's dangerous to what we're trying to achieve, which is when anybody who knows anything about the environment and what is needed and the climate crisis and the just transition knows that we need complete system change. So if you're trying to soothe the conscience of people who are working within this system and keeping it that powerful, then you are part of the problem. And I am absolutely sick of men with opinions thinking they're experts. Now, not just men, there are a lot of women, but it's mostly men who have been wasting my time and find it so easy to disrespect me after all the hard work me and a lot of the campaigners, the activists, the grassroots. We're not getting paid, Mr. Union. We're not getting paid. We're doing this for free. We're doing it for the love of our children, for the love of the future. And just like that, he thinks it's okay while he's there on that platform because of a lot of the hard work we've put in. And women have had to deal with this nonsense for centuries. And I am... Because
women are the creators, and they will create the change. Men will never create change. They're too happy with their lot.
Some men create change. There's a lot of good men involved in that campaign.
Yes, okay, but a lot of men are gaining from it being the way it is. Very few women do.
I think a lot of them want to be seen as good heroes and they're doing something to make it better, but they're not. Like, nobody's stopping the pollution. Nothing is being done. And you're not allowed to annoy people. Oh no, but they're good people. I'm not saying they're good people. The system...
It's not about the people, it's about what is going on. It's about the way things are done. It's about the lack of awareness. It's about everyone needing to wake up. This planet is all we have. I have 6 grandchildren, and I do not want to think that when I've passed on, they are going to live in a place that is so polluted they can't exist.
Yes.
for the gain of a few people now.
Exactly.
So it can't be allowed to continue. And that is
Yes.
what gave me the incentive many years ago to do the work that I did do. And if you go back and watch that program, you will find that the three campaigners that did all the work to unearth all those things that were going on were women doing it for free.
Yeah.
And the reason why women are so passionate about all this that men don't quite get is they are responsible nearly wholly for the children.
I mean, can we spell it out? While the civil service are paying for their pensions and worrying about that pensions, we're worrying about a livable planet and the fact that our children are not going to be breathable air. Water's contaminated, and you're talking about this, and that's it. Absolutely, they miss the point. People miss the point, and then
They
a lot
miss
of
the
women,
point. Yes.
a lot of women are like, "Oh no, she's really mean. She's a feminist."
Rock the
I'm like,
boat.
just get an education.
Rock the boat. That's other women don't want. Do you know why? Because they are already overwhelmed with what they have to deal with.
Also, I think a lot of the time they know that a lot of men hold the power, so they're
Yeah, and they don't want to
conditioned.
rock the boat. They don't want to get into trouble, and they don't want men coming down on them with all their heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care because men use fear to keep women in their place.
Well, I'm jingle all the way, single all the way. I'm
Well,
enjoying it.
I have no fear of anyone or anything, and life made me like that because I have confronted all my fears, and I was made to
Yeah.
because I live in this world, and this world will bring up many, many fears until we change it round to a place that's run from a place of love.
Oh,
You know,
but they don't understand love. They love they don't understand. See, you're talking from a love of. They won't understand that. I think the level that you're talking about is that
no,
agape, that universal, that kind of
that universal
humanity.
unconditional love that makes us
Yes.
all one and makes us all one with the plant.
Yeah, people will think more
We
in
get
terms of
to
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love their
Romantic.
home, love their land, love their house, love their children,
No,
love their cousins, love their best
yeah.
friend, love their husband. They won't think in terms of that
Every
ecological.
choices create what happens. Choices create the systems. Choices create your life. When choices come from a place of fear, then those are bad choices. And unfortunately, in this world, most people, including the people running everything, are living in a place of fear. So their choices are all made from a place of fear to protect themselves, to protect their money, to protect their position, to protect their power.
To
And
protect
none
their
of those
pension.
things, and none of those things have any meaning.
Like, I have no issue with pensions and all that there, but I'm supporting young people and trying to give them, like you were saying before, like there's a lot of people you work with, they don't have any hope, they've lost hope. I've got young people who are being educated on the climate and ecological crisis, who are like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to get a pension. I'm never going to
Yeah,
make that age. I'm never going to live for that. It's not, and I'm like, right, okay. And I'm giving that hope and I'm encouraging them to,
yeah,
become educated and become aware of what they can do and how they can work together. And
uh-huh.
and I enjoy my life. But
Yeah, I enjoy
what
my life.
what we need is, in terms of, we can see it playing out in Palestine, Israel, which is just
Mm-hmm.
absolutely horrific. We can see it, Ukraine. These are all similar struggles. We don't have a balanced and sustainable system.
Society.
Don't. It's not even considered. It's not considered achievable. It's not considered like something that's reasonable to actually
Mm-hmm.
strive for. A place where we live in a state of homeostasis, say, or
Yeah.
balance with our environment and with the resources and with
Mm-hmm.
other people. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that, if you actually think about it, to live in a balanced and sustainable way, that
Mm-hmm.
sounds very sensible, very reasonable. But we are conditioned that success looks a certain way, and
Yeah,
that people have bought into that. So they think big houses, big cars, holidays, like
yeah,
holidays all the time. Like people just want holidays, like fly around going on
yeah.
holiday. And that's
But that's because they have lives that need escape from. Our whole way of living is wrong. The systems are wrong. Society is lived in the wrong way. We strive for the wrong things. We strive for a success that is not success in my eyes, but failure because it fails to see what's really important, which is to look after each other, to create a planet that is going to give a hopeful life to our children and grandchildren,
Mhm.
and that there's going to be enough love in the planet for people to say we can sort things instead of all these older, richer people sitting creating wars where young people go out and kill each other. They don't go out and kill each other. They sit in offices and say, right, let's do this, let's bomb this, let's do that. And then recruit all the young people who have lost hope and make them go out and kill each other. This world is doomed if we don't turn it around. And women need to take their power back and start to do that for their children.
Yeah, but the thing is, right?
Right?
So I've been so do research and you find out and you do a lot of learning,
Uh-huh.
get it and you
Uh-huh.
learn it, and then you go and you have conversations with people. You say,
Uh-huh.
well, this, and we could do something, because we need to change and be more balanced and sustainable. And you have reasonable conversations where you're coming from a place of you've got this knowledge, this expert knowledge, but people don't want to hear it. So I've met with not just there was the other union guy with the civil service, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't actually have a conversation. He just did his speech, right? And that's
Uh-huh.
fine. And then I met with Farmers Union, and
Uh-huh.
lovely, like really lovely people.
Uh-huh.
You talk about changing and what could happen. They're like,
Uh-huh.
but it's not us. It's not us. Or on others, it's like, but that can't be done. That's not. And you're
Yeah.
actually talking about, like
People do
reasonable
not want to
adjustments.
they see everything as loss and nothing as gain.
They see it as, and also the people you talk to, they're all about like they're like it's them, and they want a scapegoat or they want a person.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, we've all bought in. A lot of us are supporting this, and we've all
Yeah.
bought into this way of living and this way of coexisting. So if if you're constantly saying it's just them, I'm like, it's actually, if you look at lot,
Everybody. It's
it's like
every
so
single
many
person
layers.
that exists on this planet. And the way to start making forwards to improving it is to improve your own life. Your own life as an individual. You must be more loving to everyone around you. You must live a different sort of life within your own home first and let that spread outwards. You can't change the world. Nobody can. I mean, as an individual, I cannot affect big change in the world. I used to think I could, and I used to go out and join things and do things and think, oh, we're going to make a difference. The difference comes from each individual living from their heart instead of living from greed and want and power. And if everyone changes their way of life, then they change the world.
But
That's my view of it.
yeah, well, of course, like, and that's true. There's the quote, isn't it? Yesterday Yesterday I was
If
smart,
they want to change the world today,
today
and
I'm
change
wise, change
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that and to affect change with other people is I am kind to every single person I meet, even if they're not kind back. Because by example is the best way to change people, just purely by example. So no matter who I come across, I will be kind and loving to them. And if they don't respond in a kind and loving way, well, then I just let them be, because you've planted the seed and they've seen that it can be done a different way. And hopefully for some people, that seed will grow. And that's what I've been doing for 25 years now, is planting seeds in people's minds and hearts to change things for themselves.
The other thing is though, that's kind and loving, right? Kind and love, but people will think it's not kind and loving to be critical of the system and the poor people who live and work in it and depend on it.
But
So does that mean to be kind and
Mhm.
loving is to be silent in injustices and silent about oppression?
No, it's absolutely essential to speak up about injustice and oppression, because while one person is not free, no one is free.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said that quote, but it was somebody that I've read, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot feel free from injustice and the damage that the system's causing if you turn a blind eye to. You can't just sit and be happy in a wee shell. Kindness and loving, yes, you do not have to be aggressive in your approach. Just speak the truth.
Ranting.
And I will always challenge injustice everywhere I see it. I think it's things like if you see somebody who is being oppressed by another person, I will get involved, yes, and I will interfere, and I always have done. I've worked for Women's Aid, I've worked for the Samaritans, I've worked in many areas where you see a lot of injustice and a lot of oppression, and yes, you have to do something about that as well to create a better world for the children coming up. But
Yeah.
as an individual, I base my individual connection with other people on kindness and love, even those I'm challenging.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of men will call me and my approach aggressive, but that's because I'm assertive. But I won't, if they annoy me too much, I just will never deal with them again. I'm not, I've no,
Yeah,
it's not, I'm not, I'll maybe just rant a bit, but I won't. I'll be like, oh, jog on, to be honest. But
yeah,
that's gaslighting though. Like you will be called aggressive as a woman when you're strong and you're opinionated.
yeah. Yes,
All the
because we are not
time.
allowed to be strong and opinionated. We're supposed to be in the kitchen. It's like women are coming out of the kitchen and into the streets and into the offices and into the places where these things are going on and saying, hang on a wee minute here, this isn't right. Men have been running the world for too long because they've made an absolute freaking hash of it.
Oh, such a
Look
mess.
at the state of it.
If look, but see, on at the thing on Saturday, an MLA who just showed up, to jump on
Hmm.
board, right? And he came up to me, right? He introduced himself to me, came to me, and
Mm-hmm.
then again, he was feeling because he's connected to the civil service and all, and wants to cover their ass. And I was like, he was like, if we hate people, Louise, and I went, no, you stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you stop right there. I do not hate anybody. Don't you dare put words into my mouth. The
Mm-hmm.
system. And that's how quick they'll try and turn it around to make you look
Yeah.
like a baddie, as opposed to actually listen to me. And I said to him, and he was like, I didn't say that. I said, you have just said, if we hate people, I said, I don't hate anybody. I said,
Uh-huh.
I am critical of a power structure and a system. And then he was like, oh, and then I was like, you need to listen to people. And if
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And I just thought, that is so typical. You come at
It's
this
typical of
stage,
what
your
we're up against.
party comes at this stage. I have
Mm-hmm.
heard nothing from your party before. I've written to them.
Mm-hmm.
They come at this stage, try and jump on the bandwagon, put out a Twitter post, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to accuse me
Yeah.
of divide whenever actually, and I said to him, you're not adequately educated on this issue. You need to become educated on this issue. Before he
Yeah.
actually just twisted my words and turned it into something it wasn't. And that's the
That's
thing
what
with
they're going
being
to do. That is what they're going to do. They have to disempower
discredit,
women and
discredit,
discredit.
disempower.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah,
if they discredit and disempower what we are trying to do for Loughney, they're a danger
yeah.
to their own children and to the future.
They don't see the future. They very much live a life of gratification in the here and now, just constant gratification and greed and getting, and they don't see the damage that they're causing. It's like that busload of men that I saw the other night, all coming home so late on a Sunday night, all drunk night. All I could think of was, I am so glad that I am not one of the wives waiting on them falling through the door, because I know what happens after that in many
Hallelujah.
homes.
Hallelujah.
I remember being that wife when the drunken husband comes home from a couple of days away with the boys or a night out with the boys, and it's been all Yahoo music and let's have a bit of crack. And then they've got to go home and take back their responsibilities, and they don't want to. So they come home like bears with sore heads and become abusive. And that's what I see when I see something like that. And that's not the way the world should be.
No,
It needs changed.
it needs system change.
Absolutely.
No justice, no peace.
We're on a Saturday morning, women are at home with their kids, having looked after them all week and cleaning the house and sorting everything out, and men are out playing football. It needs to change. And women think that's their lot. That's what they're supposed to do. But it's not their lot. Everybody should be out enjoying themselves at the weekend. And, I've watched this. I'm 64 now, and I've watched life for a long time. And all I can say is definitely the whole framework and foundation of how we live our lives needs changed. And that comes from the system down. So
We
there
need
we
to
go.
value. We need to value each other and each other's contributions and each other's work. We need to value care. Like if you go away for a jolly with the lads and have a great time,
That's fine. That's
you
fine
know,
if you come home and say, I had a great weekend, your turn now. You go
how's your,
next week.
how's it at home? How's it going? What can I do? Appreciate. It's about gratitude. It's about celebrating difference and
Thank
embrace.
you for minding the kids while I was away.
Yeah, you had the kids. And I had a great. And you come back from a weekend away with the jolly with the lads, more in love with your family, more grateful for
Yeah.
the home you have, more, rather
Mhm.
than fucking you're nagging at me now. What about? I had a good time. Sure,
Exactly.
it's good. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's stereotypes. Like there are really good. Like I have to be honest. There's a lot of really good men who really have been involved in helping me achieve, and a lot of but
Mhm.
we do live in
Unfortunately,
a patriarchal society.
unfortunately, it's the other behaviour that is more often seen in the forefront, because the good men don't make a lot of noise,
The good, sensitive, beautiful souls.
aren't out there being seen. They're not, they're not so in your face because they're just getting on with life.
Or well, there's some really good leaders, some good leaders in the environmental movement, some really good, sensitive,
Yeah.
brilliant men.
Yeah.
In the environmental. I do see that, but there's just misogyny permeates all of them, but it's part of that conditioning that we've all had.
Yes.
And
And
also
mothers are also to blame for the way they bring up their sons because, you know,
oh Jesus, this is another episode.
if when I was young, right, my mum worked and my dad worked, both of them. My mum came in through the door and into the kitchen to start making the tea for 5 kids. My dad went in and laid his tea. Right? The tea was made, everybody had their tea. Then my mum could have went and sat down for a while, and I was sent into the kitchen to do the dishes, wash the floor, and tidy up before I was allowed out. While my brothers sat watching TV. So there's where it starts.
Oh no, oh no. I was constantly shamed for being shit at polishing.
Right.
Nobody gave a shit about my three brothers. They never fucking
Give the
polished.
girls a break, let them grow up still in power. We take their power away by doing that.
Yeah. I was shamed for not being good at wearing high heels, not being very good at I wasn't thorough enough. I wasn't getting in the corners or getting around the ornaments. I was just like, fuck it.
And then women grow up without any power and without any balls to confront things and do things. And that's how they've been treated as they grow up. And it's not our mother's faults either, because that's the system that they were born into. The system needs to change from misogyny, and it needs to change in every way.
I remember my mum saying, "Do you not think you're going to be a bit too much for a man?" Yeah, I am.
But you know something? Many women are becoming too much for men because they're taking back their power. The divorce rates have gone through the roof. They went up by over 500 in Northern Ireland between 2019 and 2021. I was looking at the statistics today, and they keep going up.
Well,
because they will no longer be disempowered and not valued within a marriage, and they are leaving in their droves. And in fact, it's very hard to get anybody to marry anyway these days. The figures for actual marriage have gone down so much.
Is there? Oh, do you know what?
It all needs sorted.
It's another institution, but the other thing is, I'm just
another institution.
Just aware of time. But I think I don't think women who are strong, assertive, and clear in their views and opinionated are too much. I just think most. I don't know. I don't think there will be. I'm not dumbing this down. I'm not playing this down. I've worked too hard to get here and to be this happy with myself and to. I'm not playing small anymore. Either meet up to meet me and have fun, or just get out of my way. I'm not too much for anybody, but I don't think there's going to be many men who are going to be enough for me.
No.
No?
You would scare the shit out of them, as do I, because we have opinions. We don't believe their bullshit, and we don't take their lies.
No, it's not even that. It's just like
a lot of it is that behind closed doors in marriages, there's so much nonsense and bullshit goes on.
Well, I just think
we depend on that.
I think there are beautiful marriages and there are beautiful, really strong women who have beautiful husbands, but I think it takes a
I would like to meet one
strong man.
Could you introduce me to some of them? Because I come from working class and I've seen very few of those.
Oh, really?
Very few.
There's a few. There's a few.
A few.
Oh, I know. So I know some really powerful, strong women with incredible husbands beside them.
They hold on tight to them because they are lucky.
Yeah, they are.
They are very lucky.
But system change, and it starts with consciousness, and it starts with people under love.
Being awake, because people are happy enough to live lives that are so nothing. They just sit in front of TVs. They have no ambition. They have no awareness of what's actually going on in the systems for a start. People need to look at how they're being exploited. And trampled on by a system that's not set up to help anybody win. They need to keep us subdued and broken, or we might fight back.
But it's not, their lives aren't nothing to them. Like they are, but it does take a hell of a lot sometimes to become aware. It often takes a crisis and for real pain and real trauma and tragedy to come into your life.
Yeah.
For people to wake up see what's actually happening and how bad things are.
Well, maybe they need shown because, yeah, things do need to change.
Yeah, they do. Right.
Okay,
Well,
Ram.
Carol, I don't know. I think it was a bit ranty in places, but anyway, there you go. We'll
Well,
be back soon. It was good to see you. And anyway, take care.
take care.
Good to chat again.
Yes. Talk to you soon.